The least expensive knife from QSP, that is going to be the Parrot. So it looks like this. It has the G10 or the Micarta. So this one is not going to be a deep carry clip, but really it makes it a whole lot easier to get in and out of your pocket. So deep carry clips are either your two camps. You either love them or you hate them. You deal with them, but this is going to be the standard clip for this guy, and that's going to be how it looks in your pocket. We do have a lot of different variants. We also do have it in bearings now. So this is going to be in comparison to the Penguin. So you see the difference on it as far as the blade style. Even the handle is going to be a little bit different. So if you do have a larger hand, this is actually going to fit a little bit better into your hand because it doesn't have that end on it. So basically when you have it, you're going to be holding onto it. It's going to rest right in your palm. So it actually has a really good grip for it. So even if you have a larger size hand that doesn't get all the way on there, you can still have a very comfortable controlling grip on this knife. That's going to be the G10 variant. So price wise, I mean, this is going to be anywhere from $28 all the way up to $32. So you're going to have 28 at 20 for these guys, and then you can have the Micarta, which is going to be $31.95. And we also do have still, at least I have only two available of the one with still washers on it. So the original one still had washers, but then the newer upgrade does not. So that one does have bearings now. So that's where you're going to be able to see. So this one you can easily see as far as those washers. And then that's going to be the first one, and then we do have the one with bearings. So the bearings do add a lot of different feel to the knife. Not to say that the washers don't work well, because still the Penguin is on washers, so you can actually still very well use it and flip it out, but you will notice the difference between the two models when you handle it. If you handle it side by side, you'll be able to tell which one's a bearing and which one is going to be the washer. So that's going to be, starting from the far left side of things, you have letter A. So this is going to be what this looks like. So this is going to be a black G10. And these are, you are going to use a little bit more weight when you go to the G10 versus the Micarta. But this is going to be basically that angle. So when you're holding on to it, going into the boxes, that's going to be your cutting angle. So it's going to be a little bit higher than what you would find on the Penguin, because the Penguin is more of a utility knife cut. So it's going to be pretty much right there for getting into boxes. So you can kind of get that tip in there, but that is going to be still one that is very good for what it is for, a very good use. So this is going to be basically the difference between this and the Micarta variant is going to be about 0.2 ounces. So what does that relate to? So there's basically a quarter difference. So 1 USA quarter is going to be a difference between the Micarta version, which is about 2.8 ounces, and then the G10, which is going to be about 3 to 3.1 ounces for it. So blade length is going to be about 3.25 for the actual blade length. Blade length is normally measured from basically the furthest point of the handle all the way out to the tip. So this is going to be a good sized blade length. D2 for the blade steel. D2 is going to be one that is very good for edge retention. So it's not going to be the highest for toughness if you're going to plan on whacking stuff with it. But if you check out another channel that I'm going to shout out here too, for New Age Tactical, they did actually do a lot of testing on the knife, probably more than I would do for it, but check out their channel. They're currently at 4,270 subscribers. It seems like a little bit since they posted last time, but they tested basically the Penguin, the Parrot, and also the Hawk. So that's going to be this one about 7 months ago. They put this thing through a lot of different things. So we have Jared and Cody here, but you can see some of the testing that they were putting through this knife. I mean, they're cutting sisal rope, they're cutting sticks and all this other stuff. So there's just kind of crazy things that that the knives held up to. So that's something to really check out for their channel. So check out New Age Tactical, and then see if they're going to be coming back on, see what they're going to be working on for other things. But yeah, they checked out all three of those models, and as I said, when you're laying it out next to each other, they do have different looks to it, so different handles, different purposes. So the basically the Penguin is going to be thumb stud only, this is going to be a thumb stud, and then the Hawk is going to be a thumb stud and flipper tab, and then that one has a contoured handle. So it's something that you can check out, but do check out their channel to see what they have going on. And if you just want to see those knives being put to the test, and they really took care of that. So good job to them for now putting the time and effort and really really testing those things out. But yeah, the D2 going to be very good for edge retention, going to be better than like 14C28, but it is just a touch below for stainless. So just take care of it, wipe it down every now and then. I mean, even if you use your hand oils or anything else and you wipe the blade with it, and even if it did get like little spots of rust on it, you could still take some things to it, or it still cuts. So it might be cosmetically, you might not like it, but it still will do its job and still perform well for you. So that's going to be the A. This is going to be B. So this is going to be the green G10. And then you have the J G10. So this is going to be C. So all of them have the same satin blade finish, and also with the plain hardware. And that's going to be letter D. And then this one is still reversible for the pocket clip, so right left hand carry. So still something that will work well for a lot of people. So if somebody's really just trying to get into knives, you don't know if they're going to like things or not, you just want to have them be part of the hobby, this might be a good place to start at now about $30 to get them into the things. So this is going to be a micarta for a red micarta. And these are again about 2.8 ounces D2 blade, about $32. And then the F. So the F is the only one that I have. I have two with washers. The rest are going to be with bearings. So that's going to be the difference on that. So you can go from washers. You cannot go from washers to bearings. So the reason for that is the actual pocket within the blade has to be a little bit deeper for running bearings. So you could potentially go from bearings to washers. You just have to add a spacer to it. So we don't have the spacer for that. You would have to kind of play around with it, see what the difference is to get that done. And then it's going to be the letter G. So that's going to be these guys. So great knife, great things that are done with it. But again, check out the other channel to see a real torture test for it, what those knives have been put through. And for the price point, this is going to be a great starter knife. This is going to be great something to just have with you. When somebody asks you for a knife, maybe this is going to be the knife that you pass to them. But if you do not like the other style of blade, that's where this one really comes into play, and actually is that drop point blade. Again, very good for even larger size hands. So that's where you're going to have, this guy is going to be the penguin. So you're going to have kind of that edge, or the butt of the handle kind of going into you right there. This is going to be with the Parrot, so it's going to be kind of lined up right in your palm. So that's going to be the sizing for that. We'll look at these for the men's and women's. So for your men's hand, men's hand is going to be about there. And you have women's hand as well. So good sizing overall, but let us know what else you want to check out. We're also going to be doing more of the live streams. So it's going to be kind of a virtual blade show. So a lot of people can't make it out to the blade shows that are in Texas, Utah, and Atlanta. But if you want to check out knives, if you want to see, okay, well, what does that compare to the other one? Then I can grab it from stock, bring it out on the table, discuss it, answer any questions you have for it. But that's going to be something we'll get into more of a habit on, but it's going to be something that we'll work into. But check out this one here, definitely. If you don't have a Parrot, then this is going to be one to pick up and try out to see how you like it. So that is the update from the washers to the bearings. So the bearings are on all these other ones from A through G. Thanks for stopping in, and let us know if anything else you want to check out, and thanks for stopping by.